What is spoon theory, and why is spoon theory so important if you're trying to live your best life despite having MS? Don't turn away, because I'm going to answer that question starting right now. Howdy, and thanks for learning about MS with me, Aaron Boster. Today, I wanted to spend a few minutes talking to you about spoon theory, a concept that I find very, very important to help families impacted by MS live their very best life. I did not invent spoon theory. I'm told that this was a concept invented by a woman with lupus, another chronic autoimmune condition where fatigue is a major issue, and I have found as an MS neurologist that spoon theory applies to my patients perfectly.
Honey, you look so good. You don't look tired at all.
There's a lot of different kinds of fatigue in MS. The three most common, and the three that I want to focus on as we talk about spoon theory, is pathologic fatigue, cognitive fatigue, and motor fatigue. So pathologic fatigue is the most common thing that I see in MS. It's actually the most common symptom in MS and the leading cause of loss of work in the setting of MS. And it's an overwhelming sense of exhaustion that is very hard for people without MS to truly understand. Related to that, but separate, is this concept of cognitive fatigue. It relates very specifically to thinking and memory, so like energy of the mind. And what I see is, as someone goes through the course of their day, they have increasing trouble doing cognitive tasks. This can really play out very significantly in the second half of someone's workday, for example, with productivity dropping off, etc. A third form of fatigue that I see is motor fatigue, where their leg, for example, is plenty strong, but after they exert themselves and walk a certain distance, let's say, their leg becomes weak and they're forced to rest. Oh, and I should say that someone with MS may have all three of these kinds of fatigue as I've described. In all of these examples, your family and friends may not fully understand exactly what that fatigue is like or exactly how it plays out.
How is it that you were thinking fine this morning and now you're really struggling?
Spoon theory helps with that. Imagine that when you wake up in the morning, you start your day with the most amount of energy you're going to have for the day. And each unit of energy is a spoon. So with healthy general population, the person wakes up and maybe they wake up with 50 spoons. All right. And as you start to go through the course of your day, you're spending spoons.
Getting ready for work, getting the kids off to work, getting yourself to your job, that's a spoon, maybe that's 2 spoons. Going through the first couple hours of your workday, getting through your first big work meeting, getting ready for a lunch meeting, getting through that lunch meeting.
You see what I mean? You're spending spoons, so to speak, as you get through the course of your day. In the setting of MS, there's two major problems. Number one, you don't start your day with 50 spoons. Instead of waking up with, say, 50 spoons, you may wake up with 10 or 11 spoons. The second thing is you tend to use spoons super quick. And so very early on in the day, you're spoonless and you have no more energy. And this concept of spoon theory applies to the pathologic fatigue that I described. It applies to cog fog, as I described, and it helps us understand motor fatigue. I've actually had plenty of patients share that they were able to explain their fatigue using spoon theory to the point where they could say,
hey, listen, I'm about out of spoons right now.
And it helped their loved ones, their village, better understand what they were trying to convey. Beyond explaining it to our loved ones, how can an understanding of spoon theory help MS fatigue? Well, there's actually several ways. First of all, it's important to remember that you can recharge your spoons. You can regain your spoons. One of the most powerful ways to do that is to sleep well overnight. Getting good restorative sleep, getting enough hours of sleep, getting good quality sleep, getting uninterrupted sleep is a goal in MS, a very important goal, because it's the best way to replenish your spoons. Now, on the contrary, if you don't sleep well, you're not going to wake up with the total maximum amount of spoons that you could possibly have. You're going to be sort of waking up depleted before you even get started. So getting good proper sleep so that you can optimize and recharge the max number of spoons possible is a huge pro tip. Just before we move on, do me a favor. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out the algorithm and lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. A second helpful tip born out of spoon theory is the idea to prioritize activities during the day, placing the most important activities early in the day when you have the most number of spoons to spend, or right after a nap when you've recharged your battery. You wouldn't want to leave a very, very important accounting task to the very end of your workday, or you might not want to leave a very labor-intensive task until the heat of the midday sun. You may not want to do all of the packing late at night after you've had a full day of work. By prioritizing these kind of activities earlier, you're more successful because you have more energy to get them done. Another tip is that taking a nap can recharge your battery. You can experiment with taking a half an hour nap. You can experiment with just closing your eyes and resting. You can experiment with trying to regain some spoons in the middle of your day. And you may be very surprised that you can add a spoon or two by taking a nap in the middle of the day. Likewise, there are other activities that help us gain more spoons. Things like regular commitment to exercise. Exercising as part of your lifestyle literally allows you more spoons each day. Another pro tip is to clean up your diet. Avoiding sugar-laden foods and processed foods and fast foods and fried foods and soda pop in actuality gives you more energy and gives you more spoons. And so if you're not familiar with that, try it out. Now, anyone who's familiar with my channel knows that I'm a big proponent of upping your water game. And increasing water intake, in my strong opinion, gives you at least an extra spoon or two for your day. It also is worth saying that there are medicines that can impact the number of spoons. There are some medicines that have a side effect of fatigue. And it's worthwhile to go through your med list with your clinician and see if there's any superfluous, non-necessary medicines, or medicines at doses that are higher than they need to be, and to see if you can remove medicines off the list, working with your doctor, of course, to decrease fatigue and, in essence, gain an extra spoon. Along the same vein, there are medicines that can help us with energy. And in my clinical experience, literally give many, many spoons to the person. These are medicines like stimulants. In my experience, they can truly help someone with MS work with better concentration or apply themselves with more success, combating both pathologic fatigue and cog fog.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.